That's why we all play video games, Paladin.
Yeah. That's why I masturbate so much.
Speaking of, do you guys have a list at all or a know of 10 games that are your favorite all time?
So my number one favorite game for so many reasons is Metal Gear Solid.
Mm-hmm. The first one?
The first
Nintendo.
One. No, that was PS1.
Oh, well, there was a Nintendo one, but yeah.
But the first Metal Gear Solid on the PS1 was like, it blew my mind. You know, just the mechanics of it, the whole, sneaking around, shooting people, and I loved every second of that game. I remember they used to give you like they give you like a 10-minute like preview.
Oh yeah, the demos, yep.
Yeah, the demos. They used to give you the demos, and I played the demo like 20 times within like 2 days, and it was only like 10, 15 minutes.
Speaking of Metal Gear, I have Metal Gear 2 on my list. The one with Raiden and all the crazy talk about AI and aliens and stuff at the end. To me, that part in that game is the greatest section of a game ever in the history of mankind. The villains in it, everything about that game was just sick.
See, it was superior in so many ways, but when I'm thinking of like first times for video games, which made them my favorites, my first introduction to it was mind-blowing.
And that's what we're talking about.
So like
this
going
is our
on,
personal favorites, not necessarily what we think the consensus is on what the best video game. This is the best that we've ever played.
Right.
How about you, Danny? Any Metal Gears on your list?
No, but I did really like the first one. I played the second one and enjoyed it, but I just felt the switch to the other character sort of like deflated it in a little bit. I was more interested in like more of Snake, which you obviously got with the subsequent games, but at the time I felt like it didn't quite hit as nicely as the first one.
And before we get off it, Reezy had number 3 as one of his favorite games all the time because he sent me a list of his. So I mean, that whole series is insane.
Oh, it's fantastic. I don't think there's a bad one that I played.
But what do you got? Do you got any other games for us, Danny?
I'll go weird. You said SNES games, so I'll start with SNES games. I got Chrono Trigger.
I never even heard of that. I gotta write that one down.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Chrono Trigger, huh? What kind of game is that?
Turn-based RPG. But it's not as sort of like, here's everyone on the left, here's all your enemies on the right, big bar at the bottom like Pokemon style or anything like that. Squaresoft, Square Enix now, a bit of a dream team with the people set up. The guy who did the sound for it was like his first big gig for the company, and he worked himself into like getting ill and needing to go to hospital. So, Nobuo Uematsu from Final Fantasy fame stepped in to finish it off with him. Well, instead of him because he was in hospital. But yeah, it's a really good game. A lot of people rate the second one sometimes better than the first, but it's not. It's okay, but it's nowhere near the first one.
Yeah, it sounds familiar now that I saw the cover.
It's the SNES graphics are charming. The music's brilliant. And like I say with any remake, if you want to remake this game, go fuck yourself because it's not going to look how it looked, and it's not going to hit anybody the same way that the original did. So port it, make it accessible, like properly accessible, so people can actually play it if they don't have a SNES anymore. But there's no need to remake fucking any game really. Just port it. That's all you need to do, because then you can feel what it was actually like. If you start giving it decent or better graphics or modern graphics or however you want to see it, you're changing it and it's not the same thing. But that Legend of Zelda, which one was it? Link's Awakening, they took the Game Boy game and turned it into like some plasticine looking colourful thing, and people loved it. I just think it looks disgusting. I think it looks absolutely abhorrent. It's awful.
How about any wrestling games on your list?
Oh God, there's been so many that I couldn't really. I was trying to think of one, but I don't think they're in my top 10 though. They're fun and stuff, but
I have one in my top 10, and I would have to put it WCW versus NWO Revenge. Because that was like the initial N64. The story behind this one, and I played it for 8 hours once I got my hands on it. And I went over a buddy's house with a bunch of other people, and we all played there with the 4 controllers, and we sat there and did Royal Rumbles literally for like 8 hours. And we were like, oh my God, we can't believe how good this game is. You know what I mean? And it was all the WCW guys, the Glaciers and the Ultimo Dragon and Hogan when he was in the NWO and all this stuff. That game, I understand how the other ones are probably better. You know, WrestleMania 2000, the other ones that came. There's a bunch of them that came after it. But that was the one that woke me up. Like, this exists. And of course, in those days, we were always like, these graphics are sick. And they look like blocks.
Yes. Well, that made me think of Bring the Pain. That was a good one, too.
That's an honorable mention.
That was one that, we used to go to the bar and then go back and play that hours. That was a good time.
That game was great. That's definitely in my honorable mention set.
If I was going to put a wrestling game on the list, I'm torn between. I'm thinking older games than that, because I had a Royal Rumble game for the the Genesis, as you guys call it.
That was good
fucking
too.
Awesome. I put so many hours into that. And then I also liked, was it WrestleMania? We've discussed it before, where it was a bit more like a Street Fighter sort of style beat 'em up. Like The Undertaker did his choke slam across the ring, and Doink could get a big hammer, and it was a bit like over the top and not a serious wrestling one, but I enjoyed that. But yeah, that Royal Rumble one was,
Yep. And how about Pro Wrestling, the original from NES with the Starman and the Lizard Guy?
Oh God,
great game.
I put hours on that game too.
How about sports games? Do you have any sports games on your list?
No.
I just wrestling. Doesn't that count?
Well, you said that wasn't even on your list, right?
Yeah, but I just mean wrestling would count. Yeah. I like some football game. When I was really young, I liked football, soccer, and I had one of the John Maddens as well, which I actually enjoyed. We'd never played it at school or anything like that, but I got one of the games for my Genesis, Mega Drive, and yeah, I enjoyed that. I think it was maybe like 95. Oh no, it's maybe a bit older than that, actually.
I bought a ton of Maddens. One of my favorites was 97. 2003 was good. I mean, I bought them for years, but I didn't have one of them in my top games of all time. The only sports game I got is NBA Live 95.
Oh, geez.
Ridiculous at the time. Like,
right.
You look at it now, it doesn't look like much. But for that time, I remember thinking when I got the game, I go, I'm not going to need another video game ever again. Literally what I thought. I'm like, this is it. Like, I have this game now, and what else am I going to play? It was just, what a game.
The first 2 or 3 of those were brilliant. Yeah.
Yep. And
I have fun with sports games, but none of them are in my top 10.
The whole Batman series with Rocksteady or whatever that company is, those Batman games are amazing, and it's like playing in a comic book. So that series is in there, but if I had to pick one out of it, I'm going with Arkham City, which is technically the second one, and it's because of not only the DLC is good, but the side missions. It just makes it more like a comic book, because now all these side missions have like a boss at the end. The pig guy that most people don't know about, that like chops people up, makes different bodies. The Mad Hatter was in it, I think. A bunch of characters. And he's got one of the best rogues in all of comics. Him and Spider-Man. That's why those Spider-Man games are great as well.
Yeah.
Because they're kind of based off those Batman games. But that Batman Arkham City, that was the shiznit. And even the VR stuff where you fight in the other game modes where you can do infinity fights, against goons and things. Just chef's kiss to all that amazing stuff. If I was stranded on a desert island and I could only have one game, it would be Tekken. Really, Tekken 5 to be specific, but it's because it's such a hard game that you can play it like I have for 30 years and still be considered intermediate. You literally have to give your life over to this game if you want to be good at it. And the way it looks, the soundtrack, the extras they generally put into most of these games, greatest franchise ever, in my opinion. This new one, it upset a lot of the hardcore people because they just changed a lot of things or whatever. That's not even what I'm upset with. It's a fighting game. I'm getting my ass kicked either way by nerds that do this for 15 hours a day. Every time they come out with DLC packs, it's characters that should already be in the game. Like, there's a million people in Tekken through the years. Every game should come out with like 50 different characters.
Well, on Steam, that's what they do, is they'll have the base game, right? And as you're reading the description and all that stuff, you scroll down and it will say DLC for this, DLC for that, DLC for this. Then they go, you can have the ultimate package that includes all the DLCs for $150. And the funny part is, so if you're a sucker and you go, fuck it, I'll get the $150. A week later, they say, well, here's another DLC. Here's another DLC. And guess what? You can get the super ultimate package for now $210. And I'm the worst about it because I will buy all that. Like, I cannot, it's like I'm on heroin when it comes to DLCs, where I'm like, I got to get this. It's only $5. And then fucking $45 later, I bought all the fucking DLCs. Yeah, I'm going to be a dork right now, dork. But I'm into this game called Cities, right? Yeah. It's like Sim City, but it's way better. So they'll come out with DLC. Yeah, there you go. They'll come out with DLCs that are like map packs. You know what I mean? Or like certain districts or whatever that you know are brand new or make them better. So it's more intriguing for that kind of game, like a strategy.
Honestly, everybody sort of wants a complete game. No, everybody wants all this stuff. I want to play with Hiachi and all these guys, but I'm not. You know, it's just the principle. I'm not paying $8 for it. He should be in the game already. I already paid $70 for the game.
Yeah, that's when you know they're just calling you stupid.
Everything is on these things. Everything is already on them.
Yeah.
And they've got to come around to my house and take it off me if they want to take it off me. Every opportunity I can fucking make to not buy something digital only, I will take. I am not, for this reason, because it's just like if they decided to shut down the servers one day, I'll decide, we don't want you having that game anymore because we're bringing a new version of it out and we want you to fork out $600 fucking dollars. They'll do that. And yeah, so people have tolerated it and they'll just keep raising the prices. People started paying for pre-releases like a year before games came out. People would pay for the idea of a game and like 30 seconds of footage. If they don't, just go, this is the fixed date we're going to do it, so you're going to get it then, whether it's finished or not. And then you've got like a 6-day update on day one. And it's just like, why couldn't you just be patient? You don't have to take our money straight away, just chip away and make the game. But then it's just micro purchases has just increased. And enough people, put up with it and pay for it, and this is the standard right now: $80 to $100 games before you start spending more money.
I told you I have a problem, Danny.
I wait for sales, so I'm always like, I'm not buying Madden.
Yeah, me too.
It's bad again. I heard it's been bad, and then I'll see it for $20, and I'm like, it's Halo 3, another one of the greatest games of all time. Xbox 360, the first time I ever played for real online with a lot of people, could hear him. That's when the headset started coming out, like for everybody, for the common man and all this. I was playing with so many people with Halo 3 that they would make custom maps and then we'd go playing the custom maps. No need for a Discord, no need for any of that. You turn on the game, people are there. It was great. And out of all the Grand Theft Autos, I put one on the list. For me, Vice City. That's the one. Vice City, just
Vice
the music,
City?
the way everything looked, you know. That was more, I feel like, that was for me. It's not necessarily the best, but for me, if I had to pick one of them to play over and over and over, it would be that one.
I like them all equally. I think they're all just masterpieces. Like I thought about the Grand Theft Autos and I couldn't put one. It's the whole franchise is flawless.